Afternoon, everybody. Here is Sir Jude, and here is the video lecture for our lesson this morning, which is about positive and negative feedback mechanisms, which is a direct consequence, or rather, a follow-up to our lesson yesterday, which is about stimulus and response. Okay, so let's answer this short activity. Let's evaluate whether the response demonstrates a positive or negative feedback mechanism and justify why. Let's start with childbirth. So we have two opposing scenarios here. So before birth, the pituitary gland in our brain releases oxytocin, which is the love hormone. And as a consequence, the uterus and cervix of a mother contract. While in afterbirth, oxytocin level decreases and the uterus and cervix gradually shrink back to normal. So let's classify muna or evaluate whether which one of them is a positive and which one of them is a negative feedback mechanism. So before birth is an example, the events unfolding before birth is an example of a positive feedback mechanism, while the events in afterbirth are examples of negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so number two is lactation. Before pregnancy, prolactin, which is responsive, the hormone responsible for the production of milk in mammary glands, and oxytocin levels, which is once again the love hormone, are low. And as a consequence, mammary glands in breasts have low breast milk. So no matter how many times you pay, a woman, especially if she's not pregnant, pinches her breast, there will be there's breast milk, but the concentration is super low. Okay, while after pregnancy, the prolactin and oxytocin levels instinctively increase, no, especially if the baby is hungry, and as a consequence, mammary glands and breasts produce and release milk. So the events unfolding before pregnancy are examples of negative feedback mechanism, while the events unfolding after pregnancy are manifestations of positive feedback mechanism. Okay, so let's answer the question, why what's the difference, what is even positive and what is even negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so when we say positive feedback mechanism, these types of actions or reactions, or rather action, it amplifies a change until the process is finished. So there is a change, and if the process goes accordingly to what the goal is, then therefore that's positive feedback mechanism. On the other hand, negative feedback mechanism reverses a change to return the body to its normal state. So if there is a change and the response happens to counteract to that change, then therefore that's negative feedback mechanism. So it contradicts the stimulus. Okay? Now, let's have more examples, and this time I will now justify. Okay? So for defense, we have two opposing scenarios. You have infestation, wherein white blood cells detect the parasite, and as a consequence, they accumulate and are activated, and they attack the parasite. And elimination, wherein white blood cells kill the parasite, and as a consequence, some white blood cells die or become inactive. So let's start with infestation first. So once the white blood cells detect the parasite, they start to grow in numbers and they start to attack the parasite. The process goes smoothly and the goal is to kill the parasite. So therefore, infestation is all events of unfolding infestation are positive feedback mechanisms. While in elimination, once the white blood cells kill the parasite, some of them die and become inactive. So it contradicts the stimulus, which is killing the parasite. So therefore, elimination, all events unfolding in elimination are manifestations of the negative feedback mechanism. Okay? So number four is wound healing. So lahat naman tayo at one point or another experience some physical exterior injuries, no? So in wound healing, after injury, the wound opens, the platelets stick together to the damaged blood vessels, and therefore blood clot begins, eventually sealing the open or injured skin. And once the healing stage begins, wound closes, platelets part of the seal are broken down or cleared away, and then blood clot ends. So after injury, all events unfolding after injury are uh, manifestations of positive feedback mechanism because blood clot begins once platelet begins starts to accumulate and seal the wound. However, for the healing stage, no, this all events here unfolding are manifestations of negative feedback mechanism because you start to normalize the amount of uh, platelet in our body because platelets only increase in number once there is an injury, no, or wounds that need sealing, and once they start to return back to the original number, that's the time that they negative feedback mechanism transpires. Okay. Next is number 5, adrenaline rush. No, so before threat, adrenal gland adrenal gland is inactive, then therefore there are low adrenaline levels in the bloodstream. While during threat, adrenal gland releases adrenaline, and so high adrenaline levels in the bloodstream. This is the reason why when in the normal on a normal day you cannot carry your refrigerator by yourself. But once, for example, there is an emergency like earthquake or fire in your house, you can carry your refrigerator because of adrenaline rush. So before threat, no, this one is negative feedback mechanism because the adrenaline levels are normal, while during threat, no, so this is positive feedback mechanism because, of course, your body panics and the body responds to that panic by releasing more adrenaline. Kaya you can do some stuff or you gain some extra energy, or rather tawag dito, you gain something that you don't normally have on a normal day. Kaya all events unfolding during threats are positive feedback mechanisms. Okay, so we finish our discussion with number 5, and then I let you answer all events from number 6 to 8. Some of you were able to get them correctly. Some of you were confused. Okay, and the trickiest question out of the examples here is number 6, pupil adjustment. So pupil is the dark uh circular part in our eye that adjusts to light, whether it's dark or you're in a dark environment or in an environment where there is proper amount of light. So when you are in a dark room or in a dark place, our pupil dilates, so it becomes bigger. Therefore, more light enters the eyes. And this is where a lot of you got it wrong or were confused. So it might seem to be positive feedback mechanism, but in actuality, this is an example of negative feedback mechanism. And explain ko kung bakit in Tagalog. So, pag madilim, wala talaga tayo dapat nakikita kasi nga madilim. Black is an absence of light. But our eyes adjust so that we can see something in the dark. And as a how does our eyes adjust? Our pupils dilate. So therefore, kino-contradict niya yung dapat mangyari in dark places because dapat hindi talaga tayo nakakita sa dilim. But then thanks to the pupils in our eyes, nakakakita tayo sa dilim through pupil dilation. So kino-contradict niya yun dapat na mangyari, which is hindi tayo dapat nakakakita. Therefore, the first stimulus response flow for pupil adjustment is a negative feedback mechanism. On the other hand, this one is easy. Madami sa inyo nakakuha nitong part na ito, no? So, once you are in an environment na kung saan may ilaw naman talaga, pupil constricts and light levels restore to normal. This is also an example of negative feedback um, mechanism. This is our first pair na kung saan parehas na negative ang sagot. Okay? Because the responses contradict to what is supposed to happen or contradict what the stimulus what the stimulus goal is. Okay? Next is number 7, mucus production. Ito yung pinakakadiri sa lahat ng example. So respiratory airways are clean, so therefore mucus level is normal. This one is easy, negative feedback mechanism. Okay, so tawag dito, malinis ang respiratory airway, so there's no reason for the mucus level to do something about it, and the mucus level is normal. However, once irritants are involved in the form of bacteria or microbes or pathogens, no? So irritants enter respiratory airways, so mucus level increases, dumadami ang mucus natin, which is responsible for the phlegma and the sipon. Therefore, irritation increases and mucus production even accelerates. This one is positive feedback um, mechanism, because the mucus in our body responds to what the irritants, once irritants begin to invade our respiratory airways. So in a way, yung pagkakasipon pala is healthy because that's our body defense mechanism. Okay. And finally, last example is male ejaculation. In the first example, we have sexual stimulation, and of course, arousal and penis size increase, and therefore there's semen discharge. This one is positive feedback mechanism because especially for males, so this is the first example that exclusively happens to males only, no? So you do this because you are horny or you are sexually stimulated or aroused. So that's one way to relieve yourself. And on the other hand, once you finish relieving yourself, no, therefore the arousal and penis size decrease or go back to normal, and therefore you enter the resting state. This one is negative feedback mechanism because you return to your default state, which is not overly eager, not overly sexually aroused. Okay, so we will have more tomorrow, and we will have two more examples of positive and negative feedback mechanisms, and then we will proceed to our next lesson in biology, which I ask you to print our print out, which we will be using for until next week. Okay, but until today, good evening. This is Sir Jude. Take care of yourself, especially right now because of the bad weather. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.